The Forge Domain Cleric is a really fun subclass in Baldur's Gate 3. It's a modded subclass that's essentially all about fire and, metal weapons, ignoring resistances to physical damage, as well as being immune to fire damage. So let's go over it. We're going to go level by level with the combat tutorial. So of course we start with the Cleric Domain. Now, from here, we gain domain spells, so these ones that are always prepared in our spellbook. We also have Wisdom saving throw proficiency, Charisma saving throw proficiency, Simple weapon, Morningstar, Light armor, Medium, Shield proficiencies. For your cantrips, I would recommend taking Resistance, Guidance, and Sacred Flame. And that brings us to the Forge Domain, and essentially this is like a blacksmithing cleric hybrid. It is really cool. This will give you heavy armor proficiency. Blessings of the Forge, so you can imbue magic into a weapon to make it magical, receiving a +1 bonus. Burning Hands is a spell that is always prepared, and Searing Smite as well. Now for your ability points at the start of the game, I'd recommend 16 Strength, 10 Dexterity, 14 Constitution, 8 Intelligence, 16 Wisdom, and 10 Charisma. However, if you're using the items we're using, you can respec your Strength down to 8, and do something like this. Have 8 Strength, 14 Dexterity, 16 Constitution, 10 Intelligence, 16 Wisdom, and 10 Charisma. You could also use Strength Potions and follow this from the start, or be a Dex-based build until you get the weapon we're using, but until then, you need to pick and choose. For proficiencies, take whatever fits your roleplay. Cleric level 2 unlocks our Channel Divinity charge, as well as Turn Undead. We also gain Artisan's Blessing, so when an attack is made with a metal weapon, or against a target wearing metal armor, you can expend a Channel Divinity to ignore any physical resistances to the attack. Really awesome thing to do. For our spells here, I would take Guiding Bolt, Inflict Wounds, Healing Word, Command, and Cure Wounds. Cleric level 3 unlocks level 2 spell slots, as well as some awesome abilities such as Magic Weapon and Heat Metal that will always be prepared. For a spell here, we are going to take Spiritual Weapon, and that brings us to Cleric level 4 with a new feat. So before that we gain one more cantrip, and we are going to take Toll the Dead for this one. And then for ability improvement, we're going to bump our spellcasting modifier up to 18. And then for a spell here, we're going to take the Prayer of Healing. Cleric level 5 unlocks 3rd level spells as well as Destroy Undead. We can also do things like Animate Dead, but most importantly we gain Protection from Energy and Elemental Weapon as spells that are always prepared. For spells here, we're going to take Spirit Guardians and Mass Healing Word. And that brings us to Cleric level 6, another Channel Divinity charge, and Soul of the Forge. We are resistant to fire damage, and while wearing heavy armor, we'll gain a +1 bonus to our AC. For a spell here, we're going to take one of my favourites in the game, and that is the Glyph of Warding. And that brings us to Cleric level 7, where we unlock our 4th level spell slots. We also gain Wall of Fire and Summon Construct as always prepared spells. And for a spell at this point, we are going to take the Guardian of Faith. I think this is one of the better cleric spells you can take at 4th level. Level 8 brings us our 2nd feat, as well as Divine Strike Forge. So once per turn we do an additional 1 to 8 fire damage, in addition to our 10 to 20 bludgeoning damage when we make a melee attack. For an ability here, you probably guessed it, but our Wisdom is going to be boosted up to 20. And then for a spell, I really like taking Banishment here. Cleric level 9 unlocks 5th level spell slots. We also gain Flame Strike and Holy Weapon as always prepared spells. For the spells we're going to take here, we're going to go with Contagion and Mass Cure Wounds. And level 10 brings our Divine Intervention. This is a once per playthrough ability, so please bear that in mind. We also gain a cantrip, so let's take Bursting Sinew. And for a spell here, I would recommend taking a lower level spell like Blindness or Silence, whichever one you prefer. Cleric level 11 unlocks our 6th level spell slots. So, for this, there is one in particular I really like, and that is Planar Ally. Let's get another summon on the battlefield. And finally, Cleric level 12 brings our final feat. For this, we are going to take the Alert feat to boost us up the turn order. And then for a spell here, we will be taking Heal. You could also take Hero's Feast, but since you only have one level 6 spell slot, I would always save it for Planar Ally. Okay, let's go over our equipment, and we start with the Browbeaten Circlet, a +1 bonus to spell save DC while threatened to help out our concentration. We're going to tie into the fire theme of the Forge Domain and take the Cindermoth Cloak. So a creature that damages us within 2 meters will receive burning. We're going to take the Blackguard Greaves to gain Longstrider. The Legacy of Masters, strength saving throws +1 and a +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls with weapons. We're going to take the Flawed Helldusk Armour, again ties into the fire theme. When you're hit by a foe within 2 meters, it might take 1 to 4 fire damage, so we can do burn and potentially fire damage. We take 1 less piercing damage. We do have disadvantage on strength throws, but because disadvantage on stealth checks, but because we're wearing heavy armour, we get an extra +1 to our AC. We're going with the Burnished Ring to give us Paralysing Ray. The Strange Conjurer Ring, so while concentrating on a spell, we will do an additional 1 to 4 psychic damage. This is really big because a lot of cleric spells are concentration based. The Moondrop Pendant, so we have 50% hit points or less, we won't provoke opportunity attacks. We're going to take the Handmaiden's Mace. Has poison damage on it. Most importantly, it will set our strength to 18. And then we're going to pair this with any shield possible. The higher the AC, the better. If it's got some really awesome abilities, then go with that. Now, once you finish long resting, the first thing you're going to want to do is summon your planar allies. So let's get them going. We come in here and let's summon the Deva. I do think this is the best one. It has Revivify, it can fly, and it can do a smite. We can also summon a construct. So we'll do this and we can summon a stone construct, a metal construct, a clay construct, or there's even a flesh one. For this, we'll use a 6th level spell slot. I don't think this is worth it personally. So I would go with either stone, metal, or clay. They all have different things. For this, we will be going with the metal construct. And we'll do it at level 4. And there we go. We have a nice little Silver Surfer looking thing. And then finally, the next thing we can do is our Blessings of the Forge. Imbue magic into a weapon or armor. It will become magical, receiving a +1 bonus. So we'll do that on our weapon. And there you go, we now have a magical Handmaiden Axe. Or mace, I should say. So that is the build. Let's go find some combat and check it out. Okay, you can see we're in the combat and our Deva is top of the turn order alongside our Rogue. So let's chase down some enemies and we will fly and distract the enemy up here with their bow. And from here we can obviously swing, and like I said, we do have a Wrathful Smite, which sadly missed. And now it's our turn. So we have some awesome abilities we can do. First thing we are going to do doing is our spiritual weapon. Let's get another summon on the battlefield, and we'll place this here. So we now have our metal construct, we have our spiritual weapon, and we have our Deva all ready to swing. And if we just do a very base attack,
let's get this over with,
to show the damage output, there you go. And on top of this, we can put on our Divine Strike for extra damage, as well as poisoning the enemy. You see a nice big miss there, followed by another nice big miss. Okay, we'll send our metal golem up here. Now unfortunately our Deva was just shot off the edge of the map with a like booming arrow thing. But if you've seen any of my other guys, you'll know how this works. Now we can do a slam with the golem or a multi-attack. So let's do the multi-attack. And there you go, you can see we do some pretty solid damage. And another nice big miss before finally getting hit. And our spiritual weapon can come in here and also swing for some pretty high damage. Now one of the abilities we pick up is Searing Smite, so let's get this going, and we'll do it at level 2 on Steed here. And there you go, you see we have the burn, the poison, the bludgeoning, and we can infuse it with some Divine Smite. And between the poison and the burn, he should die the next round. We get a nice big opportunity attack with the golem for another 13 damage. And again, we can send our golem up here to chase down enemies. So between them and the Deva and the spiritual weapon, you can really spread your damage, or you can really gang up on an enemy. You see the enemy succumb to a huge amount of burn damage there, and that means we can now start targeting other people, such as the Barbarian. Now of course we are still a Cleric, so we can do our abilities such as Spirit Guardians. We'll get this going at, we'll do 3rd level, the base one. And because we're concentrating on this, as long as we maintain concentration, we will also do extra damage with our axe. And there you go, you can see we've done the nice radiant damage to the enemies we ran into. And with that, we still have our bonus actions. If we wanted to, we could remove our Spirit Guardians and be a holy weapon. We can do our cleric abilities such as healing, lots of options. We'll send our axe in to once again do some solid damage, just like that. And you'll see it's it's difficult terrain when they're walking through the Spirit Guardians. And you'll see we can move around, find the enemies, pump out more damage just like that, and you'll see the extra psychic damage there. Really fun ability to have, and as long as you keep yourself close to enemies, they will struggle to contain you. And the enemy has run into our Spirit Guardians. And once again, the enemy trying to escape our clutches, but we can just hunt them down and pile out some more damage with a massive critical hit, so we can do another Divine Strike, and there you go. Got the poison going as well. And once again, if we need to, we could do a big old heal all our allies, just like that. And again, we can do another one of our abilities we've picked up, so let's do a holy weapon, cast this on ourselves, and now look at our damage output. There we go. So you can really buff yourself to a high extent. And now it really is just a case of trying to end the fight, so we'll hunt down this enemy. And once again, with our melee prowess, we will hit them hard. Just like that, and in the next round, hopefully the poison should take them out. And we'll set ourselves up ready for the next round. Now we are still a spellcaster at heart, so of course we have things like Guiding Bolt, which we can fire onto the enemies down here for big damage. And of course we can do our Holy Burst as a bonus action, doing radiant damage and also blinding enemies. So the Forge Domain Cleric is a very powerful melee frontliner with great healing capabilities and multiple summons to just help you tank the entire battlefield. So really hope you have enjoyed this build. If you have, please check the mod out and let me know in the comments what you'd change about it, any new items or abilities. If you're ready, please drop the episode a like, it helps me tremendously, and subscribe to the channel for more. I've got more guides to Baldur's Gate, to Dragon Age, to Elden Ring, to Oblivion, Expedition 33, Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers, all the amazing RPGs you could ever need. And hopefully, I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.